Hello everyone and welcome back to my Warhammer 40k guides. I am Brady and today I would like to start a new series of videos for the community, and that is my 9th edition competitive Warhammer 40k guides. If you've been following the channel for a while, you already know that I have a ton of great guides for playing competitive 40k in 8th edition, but most of these guides are outdated now due to the new edition. And for those of you who are new to the channel and don't know anything about myself or what I do, I am a 40k YouTuber who only plays Warhammer 40k competitively because it's what I find the most fun about the hobby. I've personally had high rankings in the ITC while also being a tournament organizer myself. I've run dozens of tournaments in my life and have been in the competitive scene for quite some time, even making friends with a few world-class players. So if you're looking for great advice on competitive 40k, then you've come to the right place. So like I was saying earlier, this is my first installment in my new 9th edition competitive 40k guides. And in this video, I will be going over the basics on what is competitive 40k, how to get into competitive play yourself, and even if you're just a casual player, why you should still probably get into competitive play. So strap yourself into your favorite dedicated transport and let's get this show on the road. So what is competitive 40k? Well, competitive 40k is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's the tabletop game Warhammer 40k being played competitively. This means playing with the intent to prove that you're a skilled player and to see where you rank up in the worldwide rankings, because yes, there are worldwide, countrywide, region-wide, team-based, faction-based, and even painting and hobby-based rankings. For those of you who don't know about the ranking system, it was created by a group known as the ITC, which stands for Independent Tournament Circuit, and it's run by the guys over at Frontline Gaming. I have a video talking about what the ITC is. I go a little bit more in depth in that video than I will in this one, but it is slightly outdated since we no longer use ITC missions, since the guys from the ITC helped design the Games Workshop missions for 9th edition. But other than that, the video is still very good for explaining what the ITC is, so I recommend you check it out after this video. But in case you don't want to watch that video, here's the summary. ITC keeps rankings for all players who have played in ITC sanctioned events. Any tournament can be an ITC event if they apply to the ITC and have their tournament sanctioned. So if you live in the middle of nowhere but have a decent 40k scene, you yourself can run ITC events to get your local club on the map. There are worldwide rankings, country rankings, region rankings, team rankings, and even army rankings. So you can make an attempt to be the best player in the world, the best in your country, the best in your region, the best team of players, the best hobbyist when it comes to your painting skills, or even just the best Grey Knights player in Mississippi. And that's pretty much what competitive 40k is. It's a bunch of people going out to events to see where they rank up in any of the categories they care about. It's a lot of fun. You get to meet new people who are usually incredibly nice and fun to talk to, and you get to see some amazingly painted armies since there are a ton of incredibly talented artists in the community. And you can even make new friends. In fact, most of my friends are people I've met at tournaments, because for those of you who don't know, the reason I started playing 40k was to make new friends since I didn't have any. And attending 40k tournaments is a great way to do just that. So now with that out of the way, let's talk about how to get into competitive 40k, since for a new person who doesn't know where to start, it can be pretty confusing or intimidating. In my opinion, the best way to get into competitive 40k is to just throw yourself in head first. Even if you're just a new player who's just learning the game, go out to every tournament that you can, since you'll learn more in actual competition than you ever will by just playing against your buddy in his garage. Unless of course your buddy happens to be a skilled ITC player, but chances are your buddy is probably just as bad as you are. Some of the top players in the world have become top players just by doing this. For a perfect example, Jim Vessel, who was the #1 player in 2019 for almost the entire year, told me in an interview that he became a better player by doing exactly this. He went to as many tournaments as he possibly could, got advice from his opponents and other players at those events, learned stuff himself by playing his games, and eventually he became #1 in the world just by doing that. He even admitted he rarely played games outside of tournaments because there wasn't much to learn from normal everyday players, and instead invested more time into traveling to many events and learning from the skilled players at those events. If you'd like to do this, the easiest way to find events to attend is to download the Best Coast Pairings app. This app lists a ton of different events and even has the option to find events based on location, so you won't have to travel far. It's free to use and a great resource for anyone who wants to get into competitive Warhammer 40k. As of right now, it doesn't have a ton of events like it used to, but that's because COVID is still being a bitch. But with the rise of vaccines, I'm sure things will go back to being normal eventually. So when it does, you'll be prepared by having this app downloaded. It's a must-have for anyone who wants to get into competitive Warhammer 40k. So let's move on to the next option in case you can't afford to travel to faraway events, or if you don't have many nearby events, or if you don't feel like running your own events and getting them sanctioned by the ITC. In my opinion, the next best way to improve at Warhammer 40k 40k is to actually download a game for the computer called Tabletop Simulator. Tabletop Simulator is a video game available on Steam that allows you to play Warhammer 40k unofficially, but still competitively. It's a great resource, especially during COVID times, to allow you to get some practice and join some unofficial online tournaments. It's basically the only way I've played 40k for the last year, so I can say for myself that it's been a lifesaver. There are places online where you can join online tournaments as well, and basically do the same thing that I just previously mentioned, which is joining as many tournaments as possible, learn from your opponents in your own gameplay, and improve that way. If you don't know where to get Tabletop Simulator or how to use it, don't worry fam, I got you covered like usual. In the description of this video, and in the top right corner of your screen, you'll see a link to a guide I have for how to install and play 40k on Tabletop Simulator. And also in the description of this video, I have a link to an amazing Warhammer 40k Discord server where you can meet other people to play 40k with on Tabletop Simulator. And more importantly, where you can join online tournaments. And shameless self-plug, I also run online Tabletop Simulator 40k tournaments for my patrons. It's only $5 a month to join, and you get access to a ton of great resources alongside monthly Tabletop Simulator tournaments run by yours truly. If that's something you're interested in, then check out the Patreon link in the description of this video. And finally, moving on to the final step of how to get into competitive 40k and how to become better at 40k in general, is to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon so you can be notified when I upload more Warhammer 40k guides. I will be making a ton of guides for Warhammer 40k and how to improve, things like how to build strong army lists, how to analyze games properly, interviews with some of the top players in the world so you can get their perspectives alongside my own, codex reviews and guides, and much more. I also offer personalized coaching sessions as well over on Patreon if you're interested in checking out that resource as well. It's great for new players who want to jumpstart into learning the competitive side of the game, or even for veterans who just want a second opinion on things. And like I mentioned previously, I also run monthly 40k events on Tabletop Simulator for my patrons as well. So you can get some coaching and help with list building and then test your skill against other patrons. Again, it's an amazing resource to help you get jump started in your 40k competitive journey, so I highly recommend checking it out if you want to improve your 40k game quickly. And that's going to be it for this video. If I forgot anything that I wanted to mention, I will post a pinned comment down below in the description to cover anything I missed. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon to be notified when I make new videos. Like I mentioned previously, I have a ton of great stuff headed your way, so you're not going to want to miss out. Also, I wanted to say thanks to my patrons for being awesome and allowing me to keep a roof over my head during this pandemic. You guys and gals are the real ones, and I love you all very much. So with that said, thanks again to my patrons, and thanks to all my subscribers as well, since you guys are amazing, and I'm glad you're enjoying the content enough to stay subscribed. And I guess that's it. So I'll see you all in the next video. Happy wargaming!